Hello again, Dezz Asante here from the Tech Muse Academy with another mixedlessons.com video quick tip. This one comes from a member from the Gear Sluts forums who goes by the name Tabulator. And Tabulator asks, "Hi all, I'm in need of help in deciding what to spend my money on so as to improve my workflow and increase the longevity of my gear." So this is a good question actually, and as some of you know who followed me for a while, I'm a big fan of improving your workflow, being able to get your creative ideas expressed quicker and more efficiently. And I'll give you, amongst a whole bunch of possible suggestions, I'll give you what I think has helped me the most in the last few years, as far as workflow is concerned, that is. And that is my control surface. A few years ago, bought a Mackie Control Universal, the first generation product from Mackie that has, it's like for those of you who don't know, it's like a console type of thing. Looks like a little mixer, but of course it's not a mixer at all. It's simply a controller for my DAW, which is in my case, Cubase. It's got 8 motorized faders, it's got a jog wheel, it's got transport controls, pan pots, a number of different dedicated buttons, as well as some programmable buttons that I can configure and assign whatever macros or shortcuts that I use most frequently. Now there's some obvious benefits to that. I mean, being able to have dedicated controls allows you to develop this sort of kinesthetic memory. When I need to save a project, my hand instantly reaches for the save button and it's saved. When I need to navigate through my arrangement, I have dedicated buttons that will move me from one marker to another, and I have a jog wheel that will allow me to scroll back and forth through the mix, through the arrangement rather, at whatever pace I need to. I've also, in my case, I've assigned dedicated zoom controls, so there are certain views that I use most frequently. For example, if I need to see full screen, the particular audio event that I want to be editing at the moment, I have a button that will zoom full screen to whatever I've selected. I have a button that will zoom full project so I can see all of my tracks and the entire length of the arrangement. So these ways of navigating around my session, moving from track to track, changing my views and zooms and perspectives on what I'm working on, switching very quickly from my mix console view to my arrange window. These types of things have dramatically increased the speed at which I'm able to move around my session so that I don't get hung up on those technical details, the ergonomics of things, for lack of a better way of putting it. That has definitely helped. And there's one other thing, a benefit, major benefit that I've gotten from my control surface that I never would have thought of prior to getting used to using it. And that is the fact that I had no idea in the past how much I relied upon my eyes, my visual senses when I'm working through my mixes. I discovered after getting used to working with my control surface that I'm able to make more potent and powerful mix decisions, because when I'm looking down at my console with very limited visual feedback, and I'm relying more on a tactile feedback and auditory feedback, I'm listening. I'm paying more attention to listening as opposed to splitting my attention between the sound, which is of course what I'm there to work on, and what I'm looking at, my eyeballs following my mouse around the screen. It seems like such an insignificant little thing, but the human mind can only focus on one thing at a time. It's very good at switching very rapidly between points of focus, but ultimately you can only be focused on one thing at a time. And so if I'm trying to listen to a sound and I'm following my mouse cursor around the screen and I'm looking at the meters and I'm looking at this and looking at that, I'm actually taking some of my concentration away from what I'm actually there to accomplish, which is to manipulate the audio to suit the mix the best, to get the best presentation out of the arrangement that I'm working on. So that's a little food for thought and my opinion on one fantastic way to improve your workflow and to help you make more powerful audio mixing decisions as you create your music. So hopefully you find that helpful. Once again, before I leave, I just want to remind you that if you haven't already taken my free mini course entitled 3 Simple Steps to Amazing Home Recordings, head on over to mixedlessons.com right now. Throw your email in the box that you'll find there, and I will send those. I send those via email. There is no charge, no cost to it whatsoever. It's valuable information that many people have found extremely helpful, and hopefully you do too. And I'll see you on the next quick tip.